Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about aesthetics and why I hate them. I have a whole list of notes that I want to talk about. I'm going to try to make this as organized as possible, so bear with me and thank you for being here. Let's start off with the whole aesthetic world. If you don't know me, I've been on TikTok for the past year. I haven't been posting on this YouTube channel as much, which is why you wouldn't see much of my aesthetic living that I've been doing the past year, and I'm going to dive into it a little bit. But essentially, I've had this whole TikTok based around an aesthetic. But to start, let's talk about aesthetics. Let's talk about what an aesthetic is. So essentially, the word aesthetic means of beauty and relating to beauty, something along these lines. And I think it really goes to just take something that's like normal and kind of romanticize it and make it look pretty. Like, say you're going to the beach, instead of just like, oh, I'm going to the beach, you would make this whole like aesthetic, maybe put filters, or maybe just like the way you're taking the picture or stuff like that. Just make it look aesthetic. And that's a way of seeing the aesthetic word, and that's the way I like it more as well. Just make things look aesthetically pleasing, because I love making things look aesthetically pleasing, and that's completely different than what we're going to talk about today. The aesthetic we're going to talk about today is the categories aesthetic. And you know what I'm talking about. It's granola aesthetic, beach girl aesthetic, Y2K aesthetic, city girl aesthetic, or whatever. There's literally so many. I can't even keep track of how many there are. And you might be like, okay, but what's the issue with that? And I'm gonna tell you. I remember seeing a girl make a video about that. She was like, oh my god, why is there so many aesthetics? She really didn't dive into the whole reason why it's so problematic, but she kind of made a video like making fun of it, like, why are we doing all these aesthetics and stuff. And I remember seeing it, I'm like, so annoying. So like, just let people like what they like. If they want to do aesthetics, then let them. But now I kind of agree with her. So my whole TikTok account was based off an aesthetic. You may guess, if you follow me on there, you know I was a beach girl. It was basically this whole beach aesthetic. I posted videos like beach hair tutorial and how to do shells in your hair and like beach vlogs and all that stuff. And I was following all these beach girls. I was like, oh my god, I have to move to Hawaii. Like, girl. And I was basically trying to like model my life into this aesthetic that I like, and it was also what was getting me views. So wherever I mentioned the beach, my views were up. I love the beach. I've always loved the beach. I grew up 5 minutes away from the beach in Brazil. It is a part of me, but it is not all there is to me. I'm not only a beach girl. I'm so many more things. I like so many things that just don't go with the beach aesthetic, and that's literally everyone, because people are not meant to fit into aesthetics. Everyone is different in their own way. All of their interests match together make the person who they are. That's why fitting into aesthetics make no sense. Granted, there are some people that like name aesthetics so they know which type of style is what, and then they can mix it and make it into their own thing, and like that's one thing. But when you're out here being like, oh, what's the name of this aesthetic, and like, what do I have to change about myself to be a part of this aesthetic? Some of these things are actually nice, like, oh, drink water, whatever, but some of them are ridiculous, and it's like you're following a guidebook. We're starting to see these aesthetics as guidelines, like that's something we have to follow, like these are the rules to the aesthetic, and that's what we have to follow, and that's what we have to be a part of this. If you don't, then you're not part of the aesthetic.
And it also feeds into this idea that we have to rebrand ourselves and change ourselves to be happy. It's like, oh, once I have this, I'll be happy, or once I've achieved a certain look or a certain aesthetic, once I've changed my whole closet, then I'm a whole brand new person and I'm gonna be happy. But no, that's not ever gonna happen, because if you think happiness is gonna come from changing yourself or fitting into a certain aesthetic, you're just gonna keep looking for a different aesthetic when you realize that didn't make you happy and it didn't fix your entire life, and you're not a brand new person because you're still the same inside. But yeah, let's look at a few videos on TikTok that are kind of like feeding this idea of recreating yourself. No hate to these people, these creators. I'm sure they made the video just for fun. So let's see.
What do we wear? You're gonna pretend that you're an Ivy League student getting ready for class. You're gonna wear collared button-ups, Argyle sweater vests, pleated skirts, knee socks, loafers, and court shoes.
Anyways, back to the video.
It's just making everyone look the same. And like, when I went to my trip to Spain, I was just posting like, oh, European summer, and just like stuff that I like. I love spending my summer in Spain. It was awesome, but it was not beach aesthetic, and I was getting no likes because I was a part of the beach aesthetic, and the fact that I was in Spain in a city was not cutting it for my beach aesthetic. So my views were down, no one cared, I was getting no likes. I felt so like bad about myself because I was like, I have to like do this beach stuff. And some people watching this video might be like, okay, well that's just you, like I would never see it that way. But I know some other people do, because I've seen it personally, especially on TikTok. And also, I was getting tired of faking my persona because I don't live at the beach. I live an hour away from the beach. Number two, I like the beach, but I was tired of making my entire personality. There's so much more that there is to me than going to the beach and making beach aesthetic videos. So I changed my username from Ocean by Izzy, RIP, and I put it to my name because I'm just tired of the beach videos. I'm done. Will I continue making them? Yes. Will they be my whole account? No. I just want to make things that I like. I'm tired of putting myself in this box and aesthetic. It got to a point where I changed my whole room to look like the beach, but I don't even live by the beach, dog. Like, you gotta understand, I live in Orlando. There's nothing beachy to here, and like, I've always liked different colors. I like listening to Tame Impala, but that didn't cut it for the beach aesthetic because that's indie aesthetic and all this stuff, and it's just so ridiculous following all these little guide boxes and little rule books. And granted, like, it did not affect my whole life. It's not like in my head I'm like, I'm a beach girl, but online I was. My whole Instagram was beach girl, my whole TikTok was beach girl, and I just got sick of it. I'm tired of making these beach videos, and it got to a point I'm starting to hate the beach. I love it, but it's a fraction of who I am. It's a fraction of my self-identity. It's a fraction of what I love. It's not my whole life. And essentially what got me waking up, other than the fact that I was just plain sick of it, is the fact that I was growing my Instagram account, making it look like the beach, and I was following all these other girls. And I'm sorry to these girls, I'm sure they are amazing, but they all look the fucking same, and so did I. Everyone there looks the same. They post the same captions, they post the same photos, they post the same filters, they post the same reels over and over again. It's just the same present, and it's like, no offense to these girls, because I'm sure there's something different to every single one of them that would make them unique. And like, I feel like I would so much rather follow someone where I can see who they are, I can see what they like, and they post stuff about their personality. But no, it's like everyone is the exact same because they want to fit into this box of what's considered aesthetic. And I was like, wow, I have so many things that make me unique. I have so many things that make me who I am, and here I am putting myself in this box of an aesthetic to look a certain way and be a certain way and talk a certain way. So anyways, it's so limiting. If you go on Pinterest, literally everywhere it's gonna be guidelines to an aesthetic, and it's literally ridiculous. So anyways, we're gonna talk about how you can fix it and how you can be you and how to like step out of this aesthetic. And it's something I've been doing. So I was in my class not paying attention. I just should be paying attention, but I was making a mood board. Just stuff I like, just stuff that makes me me, just stuff that makes me who I am. So I got pictures of golden retriever, which is my dog. I got pictures of the beach also. Anyways, I got pictures of Brazil, which is where I'm from, and I just got a bunch of things. And this is what I came up with. This is my mood board, and then I made it my lock screen so I can look at it every day, just simply and plainly me. Anyways, the next one, just think about who you are and think what makes you you. I have a journal, and I wrote like a 2-page little essay, as you will. It's about me and like who I am, and like things that I like, things that make me mad, or things that make me happy, and things that brings me joy, and what I like to do and stuff like that. And it really just made me think. I have so many qualities to myself, and I have so many things about me that it just will never ever ever fit into an aesthetic other than just my own. So if you're like me and you still obviously like the aesthetically pleasing stuff, make a Pinterest board with your name, and then just get all the pins that make you you, your favorite animals, your favorite food, your favorite place that you've been to. Just put them all together in a folder, name it your name or just like your own aesthetic, and just make up your own thing, and then that will be your aesthetic, and that is the best aesthetic that you could ever be. So let's be yourselves, because we're beautiful our own way, and there's no reason why everyone should look the same. Ever, because we have so many qualities to ourselves, and we can't just limit ourselves to an aesthetic. And it also doesn't leave room for people to be different. Everyone is different, everyone is interesting in their own exact way. So why are we trying to be all the same? That's literally ridiculous. And this is not the same thing as being basic. That's a completely different thing. I'm saying an aesthetic where you're putting yourself in a box and you're limiting things that you like because you want to fit into something that you're not, and you want to mold yourself into something that you're not. So yeah, I think this concludes my whole aesthetic rant. If you have any other thoughts to put into this, like a little discussion, or just things that you have to say. I know some people might not fully agree and be kind of in favor of the whole aesthetic thing. It's like, oh, it's fun for me, and it's not serious to me in a way, and that's good. Like, if it's not limiting you, then there's no problem with that. But if you feel like you're trying to put yourself in an aesthetic and you're trying to be a certain way, then that means it's harmful to you, and it's time to get out of that whole toxicness of aesthetics and do the things that I said. Journal your qualities, things that you love about yourself, things that make you uniquely you, and make your own Pinterest board with your own aesthetic, your mood board. Just put it all over it. And yeah, and actually, if you guys watch my last video, it's like a beach room tour. That was when I was still like the whole beach aesthetic girl. She's dead. Thank God she didn't see to get much of the light on YouTube as she did on TikTok. But I've changed my room a little bit. Here used to be like all beach stuff, but now I put my currents album and my books, and then here I have all my Converse, which I think is cool. Here I have green, which is not beach aesthetic by the color. I have Aquarius, which is just like my sign. And then ignore the mess, I'm like cleaning my room, but I just put different posters up and it still looks pretty similar, but I got rid of all the beach stuff. I got rid of all the beach posters. I hope it helped you think a little bit. If you think you're like limiting yourself to an aesthetic, or even if you just agree that it can be a little bit toxic. But yeah, if this helped you at all or gave you a new perspective, give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below what you think, and if you want, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, my new version of TikTok, and I'll see you guys. Bye.